a new Brazilian pharmaceutical industry that acts on the OTC segment, over-the-counter, where the sales of medicines are exempt from medical prescription. In a sector where the products that sell the most are the same for more than 3 decades, there is space for new players that have a different attitude and that can truly achieve a relationship with its customers. But the benefits that Airela brings are not simply restricted to medication. They extend to a relationship with people's lives. With this in mind, we were contacted by Desk Communications to develop a project of strategic sound alignment of brand, identifying the standard vocal of Airela's brand and its sound representation, the sound logo. In the first stage, we identify the sound profile of the brand. Besides all the branding material that existed, we investigated all its context. Through its essence, we could establish how Airela should sound on people's minds. One of the most powerful emotional and relational configurations that we, human beings, have is motherhood, which is responsible for the way we care about people and how we donate ourselves to others. It is also related to life, confidence, and well-being. When we think of the ability of giving life, creating a relationship with the caring of life and well-being, we refer to the feminine universe, along with tenderness and generosity. These are evident and guiding characteristics of Airela and can be used for men and women despite belonging to the feminine universe. Based on this diagnostic and making a correlation with the brand's pillars with the vocal and sound parameters, we established that the vocal tone for Airela is a feminine voice. It should stress tenderness, confidence, and happiness, all characteristics related to well-being. One of the sound contexts we have detected was that of the legal text, usually pronounced by a male voice in a linear manner, exaggeratedly fast and consequently not very intelligible. In this way, we define that the legal text should be pronounced by Airela's brand voice, a detail that emphasizes the brand's commitment to its customers. In order to finish the sound production process, we validated the results. The objective here was to identify which sound is more coherent with the essence of Airela. Based on the previous stages, 2 voices, A and B, were assigned to be tested in the form of an experiment, independently between both examples. This way, it indicated the voice that was most aligned with the pillars of Airela. The research was done in the following way. 92 people, men and women proportionately, belonging to Class C, were recruited in São Paulo. This way, Airela's target audience was represented. These people were divided into 2 groups. Each group was invited to listen to a different voice. One group listened to voice A and the other to voice B. After listening and filling out a form, they pointed out their perceptions and other topics. We used a scale from 1 to 5 points for each of the 6 pillars opposed to their respective antonyms. The results were evaluated through statistical analysis that indicated the advantage of voice B as being more effective for Airela. It was evaluated significantly superior in relation to the pillars of generosity and confidence on the research. After the same investigative process and the correlation of the pillars of the brand, now with musical parameters, we define the institutional sound expression or sound logo for Airela. The insight was to create an association with the company's name and to use this for the melody, 3 syllables and 3 notes. With this in mind, we isolated the last syllable and used the syllable la in the melody, with the idea of using a maternal tone, although more complete. These 2 insights make a straight connection with happiness, tenderness, and well-being. This way, there is an association with the sound of the word Airela. As for the melody, we used an ascending melodic contour, reaching a higher point, establishing a direct connection with happiness and well-being. The auxiliary melodies make use of leaps, a characteristic that also connects with vitality and happiness. The intervals of a major sixth and octave that were used are considered consonances, sonorities that are usually related with positive values in Western music. Regarding harmony, we use the function of tonic to predominant, which makes connection with the departure from a point, and motion. The trajectory, tonic predominant tonic, works as a metaphor for vitality and happiness. We chose a medium fast tempo of 85 beats per minute, again connecting with vitality and well-being. As for the rhythmic aspects, we use short and accented tones as well as syncopation in the auxiliary melody, a displacement of the strong beat. Also, the binary subdivision of the beat is played with a swing feel. In the following example, we can clearly perceive the difference between a rhythm with straight feel and swing feel. Notice that the second example makes an even stronger connection with joyful music. The sound logo is performed with mezzo forte dynamics, establishing a link with well-being, happiness, and life. We incorporated two auxiliary melodies, a lower one, which gives support to the main melody, and a higher one, an ostinato, that is a repetition of the same note which surrounds the main melody. The higher melody in ostinato emphasizes the most important note of the tone and connects with the concept of trust, prevention, and care. Following these ideas, we use the feminine vocal tone. We emphasize tenderness and, in some moments, happiness and energy, trying to make a connection with well-being. One of the instruments used was the ukulele, of Hawaiian origin, but that was inspired by the Brazilian and Portuguese cavaquinho. Its accented register, as well as the swing feel that is played with, correlates with the festive and happy environment, at the same time with happiness, well-being, and vitality. Through the detailed construction of each sound element, we reach to make a connection with the aspects that take part in the essence of Airela. Again, to finish the sound production process, we validated the results with the same two groups. As with the definition of the Brand vocal, we chose two samples in order to test it in the form of an experiment. Each one of the groups was exposed to only one version of the sound logo, filling out a form right after that. In the same way we did with the validation of Airela's voice, people pointed out their perceptions and thoughts in relation to the sound they've listened to, regarding the 6 pillars of the brand. 5 of the 6 pillars were significantly more associated with the sound logo too. An example of the superiority of this sound logo in relation to sound logo 1 can be clearly perceived in the analysis of the happiness pillar. So that you have an idea of the precision of this result, if we validated it 1,000 times with the same profile of audience, in only one there would be the possibility of getting a different result. And based on all this process, this is the sound expression of the brand Airela. La, la.